So I'm very curious on your thoughts on AI because on almost every one of those processes that you just spoke of, there's an AI integration. There's an AI play.
Yeah.
And which side do you lean more toward? Are you like AI can be like an assistant and a tool to somebody like you who is a super producer, or are you more on the purist side of like I don't touch the AI, I don't find a place for it.
We cannot stop it. Look at the history of technology, yo.
Yeah.
We cannot stop it. They tried to stop CDs.
Yeah.
They tried to stop, in the late 90s, with Napster, they tried to stop MP3s. In every era, there's always a new technology that disrupts the status quo. And there's a group of people who try to stop it. You cannot stop AI. AI is here. It's been here, actually. If you've been using Siri for 10 years, you've been using AI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like AI's been here, by the way. So it's like you can't stop it. Now, here's the deal. You have to know what to tell it. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the skill. How do you program AI?
But like, would you let AI play something for you in one of your records, though?
Probably not. But I can't knock the person that knows how to tell it what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everything we're seeing now is like super surface. Like, you see the 60s versions of like Sexy Red. So that it's all super surface. It's like, and they're just pulling very generic sounds and generic things to put that together. That's why people look at it as a joke. But there is a way, not only from a music perspective, but also from a design perspective, to utilize AI and really, really make it do what you want it to do. And that's what's going to start shifting or make people the differences in everybody using it. It's going to be a different style. You're going to develop your own style of using AI.
And then what do you think about, and this is my last question on the AI front, but I'm so curious about this because I'm a nerd, but like, what if a young producer says, I want something, I mean, you have hundreds of tracks, right? Maybe even thousands.
Yeah.
Maybe, right? Yeah. So that are out there for public consumption. What if somebody says, hey, I want a record, or I want keys like Bryan-Michael Cox. I want a chord progression like Bryan-Michael Cox. Like, what are your thoughts on that part of the AI game?
Okay, so
the training models.
In real life, that is extremely surface, though, right? Because there are a lot of Bryan-Michael Cox chord progressions, right? So they're going to pull things out of the sky. Now, you need to get more specific. I'd like a chord progression in the style of Bryan-Michael Cox in the key of E flat minor. When you start getting
keys now.
specific, with the 1 3 1 go back to 3 2. When you start getting specific, it is what are you telling it? Because a broad stroke of like, I want a Bryan-Michael Cox chord progression. It's a broad stroke. And granted, you might get something good, something close, but
okay, thank you. Now make it more
like okay, now I like it in the key of E flat minor. I'd like for you to add a ninth to the third turnaround. I'd like it to be, this tempo. I want it to be in the style of whatever. I want this particular nylon guitar sound from the Roland JB 1080 that he used on, whatever song. You know what I mean? Like you could get, it is how involved.
Yeah.
And
at the moment, I don't think there's AI that can do that.
I mean, unless, I don't know, has anybody tried it? That's the question. Like, have you went to ChatGPT and said, hey, I want to, do a song in this, I want you to write lyrics in the style of, Jonte Austin with the stanza of such and such and such, and I need 2 verses, 2 hooks, and a bridge about losing the love of your life to, cancer. Like, have you tried it?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we can't run from it, yo. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
Do you still think that there's always going to be a space for the human?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
it's never going to overtake us. You know.
Yeah, I think we'll always have a space. You know what I mean? Because as much as you can try, it's still, you still have to tell it what to do.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, you still have to tell it what to do.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just open up AI and just say nothing, and it comes. You know, you have to tell it what to do. So it's still a thing that we have to actually engage with in order for it to even work. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys seen this. An old clip of Herbie Hancock and Quincy Jones in the studio. It's got to be around 1985, 84. It's from this documentary called Everybody Loves Quincy that was on BBC. I think it was on BBC. I can't remember. My mom had bought me the VHS. And this is in the early 80s. You know, and they were astounded by what the technology was doing then. And people were scared. Now, the way that we make records to today, using those laptops and computers, this was like a Fairlight CMR, which is like, the machine cost like $100,000. You know? Like, it was impossible to get, which is now what we do
every day,
every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Herbie Hancock says something. It was like, you know, you gotta plug it in. You gotta turn it on.
Yeah.
People are afraid of these machines, but they don't do nothing that we don't tell it to do.
I don't know. I'm scared. AI terrifies me. The climate change, all the things, implications with that is all scary to me.
Yeah. R&B Only Live is a show that will take you on a journey of R&B music from past, present, and future. We bring together the best of the genre with our all-female DJs, talented hosts, and electrifying energy all night long. Get tickets to the tour now at rnbonly.com/calendar and vibe with a room full of R&B lovers.